computer faster would also make sense.
Well, I had to clean
You're on stage.
Hello, everyone.
I had to clean the what's called the
Cache.
the camera.
The camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta hide my browsing history too.
Because we're in the adult section of Children of Primus now, so no holds barred. Like the video, subscribe. And James Coleman first says yoink, and Professor D says second dough.
Yeah, like the video and subscribe, or else.
Or else.
Oh, we started.
Just in case
Yeah, we're going.
Impactor is still watching,
Oh.
this is the one that'll be mailed to you.
Nice.
I had to remember where I had him set up at.
You know what's so weird from this screen? The bottom parts of Blaster looks like your eyes and
I
eyebrows.
was just gonna say that's like a cyberpunk mask right there.
Yeah, he's got pupils and everything.
Yo, for a Halloween costume?
Yeah.
For a Halloween costume, I can see that.
That's it right there, and welcome to another edition of the Frenzy Freestyle Sunday. Collectors in disguise, where within the whole collective, all of us have one transformer that everyone's looking for. So, which I don't think any other channel can say that.
I got Road Pig right here, just randomly. I used one per case. But people don't seem to be scooping them up as much as like Cosmos and those other one per case guys. I still see them in public, so. But I got one.
Oh, is he a rare?
Yeah,
I just saw him this weekend. I'm not a fan of that section, but
yeah. Well, apparently he was one per case, but I think they finally managed to make it so that the one that's one per case is not one that's also in super duper demand. So it's actually just getting to stick around.
well, who would have thought that Cosmos would be a super demand thing?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, Cosmo's number one.
Yeah.
Number one, the best. Let me tell you, he's the best. Okay.
I have a particular affinity to Cosmos, so it wasn't unusual for me to see such a high demand for Cosmos, the legacy figure.
That's why they're just like
I was
straight up
just like,
rerunning him
are
as an
you for
apology.
real, Cosmos? Really?
With the G1
People are
Cosmos.
selling this guy for $80 a piece? Come on. All right, let me go find some, and I couldn't find none.
You know why everybody likes?
kid.
Hold on. You know why everybody likes Cosmo?
Why?
Because he delivers your pizza on time. That's why.
Are you?
That's Cosmo. My paisan.
There we go.
Pizza time! Cowabunga, dudes!
Oh yeah, it is the Ninja Turtles brand of choice.
Okay.
Right
Children
on.
of Primus, have a drink of your choice, have a pizza of your choice. Although wasn't Kramer from Seinfeld his first name Cosmos?
Cosmo,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, he
Cosmo.
was.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because Cosmo, back in what were you doing on the shelf back in '85,
Let's say back in the days,
86?
man.
Cosmo and Sea Spray, like there was just a ton of them in the store because nobody wanted that character. Like
Weird.
Like it was just the whole shelf of like yellow.
Yeah. What do I have sitting around here? Yeah, I have the older Legends version, just awaiting his new one. And I'm like, for now this is good. He's maybe a bit too dynamic and not chumbly enough, but this is who I got for now.
Hold
That's a
on.
good figure. He's sitting
I had that one.
on the dash of my car.
Oh, nice.
Let me catch up on the comments. Let me catch up on the comments.
Wait, hold on. I just want to mention this because I saw the green yellow. Have you guys seen the new 86 Springer?
I actually saw it in Walmart today.
Yeah, I saw it.
Surprisingly.
I saw it last time I was at Toys R Us, and I also happen to have one with his buttload of equipment on him, as you can see, because he comes with 7 million accessories.
How much did you pay
on
for
his
that?
way.
Yeah, I managed to regular leader class prices, whatever they are. I get these guys from GameStop because if you have a one of the GameStop cards, you get a little discount, so it's a bit cheaper to get your stuff there.
I saw it at Walmart for $76.
That's
89.
exactly the price I saw, and I'm like,
I was gonna say here in the States, because I've got my page drawn up right now because he's actually in the mail coming here now. I had a big
My
load
what?
at no, he's 54.
you see that conversion difference?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wahaha! She brought me all of them.
Oh, what you got?
oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, cookies.
Oh my god. Okay. Did you bring enough? I was going to say, did you bring enough for the class? But it looks like you did.
You have to share. You have to share.
Thank you for the cookies.
Thank you. And
Well, hold on. Are those special cookies?
shush.
I mean, they're homemade cookies, but we don't do that kind of shit here.
Oh, it was made with love. I get it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So Toy Warp says, sorry for the no-show tonight. I booked my bobbed my head pretty hard today. She mentioned, so I hope you are feeling better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're okay. Holy cow.
I'm just like, it'd be funny if he did show up and was just like,
And Shiba Komi says, did you all see my Springer comment that I posted in the Children of Primus Facebook? I'm going to pull that up and see if we can do a voiceover for it. James
nice.
Coleman says, hello, Mr. O.
Hey, it's M to the O.
M to the O.
it's funny because it's one word I was reading it and I was like, what the heck is Matothio?
Shiba Kobe also says, I had pizza today, Boston pizza, built my own rendition of the old 92 cream sauce based shrimp pizza they had. Not exact copy, but close enough.
Nice.
Everyone's having pizza days. Pizza night.
Pizza night, which Shiba Kobe also says, I have 86 Spring. He's great. It's funny, I did look at the box and look at the figure while in Walmart today, and he does look quite impressive.
Yeah.
This
No, I like.
close. Even this close.
Yeah,
Then
I
I
like
look
mine.
at-
It's funny because I was talking to Leanne about Spring, and I'm like so close to buying him because I mean, you know, out of the Autobot triple changers,
Yep.
you know, I have Sandstorm, so it's a kind of his counterpart in a sense, because you know, of the Autobot triple changers. But I'm like, but I mean, everyone's saying good things about the Springer.
Yeah, I need to write a review of him now that I'm back on the saddle. But I'm starting from scratch here. I got to get the ball rolling.
Oh, which and I know Fear, you weren't here last week, but is one of the things I found in Dollarama, which was quite funny.
Oh, I saw those too. They all look like they're all bootlegs from the Kingdom Cheetor tooling, but there's whoever is designing these bootlegs, they're a Transformers fan because I saw 7 million color schemes and they were all references to somebody.
Yes.
They had Cheetor, they had Tigatron, they had that is Beast Wars Prowl from the Magnaboss combiners. Like that's what the colors are referencing.
Okay.
Like they did Leo Convoy, they did Proto Colors Tigatron. Like whoever's making these bootlegs, they're a Transformers guy because all these color schemes, I'm immediately noticing that they're all from something.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna have to interrupt here.
Yeah.
The spin stole my thunder. So I do have a reveal for today.
Oh.
Do it.
So I'm gonna start a new segment.
Something adult review?
Yeah. Yeah, well, adults, kids, whatever. Right?
I'm joking. I don't know why I have to say that.
It's legal. So I'm gonna start a new segment called KO with MO, meaning I'm gonna reveal a really good knockoff, and I'm gonna compare to the actual G1 figure that I have in the background, just to see if it's a good quality.
Man, we'll have to do like, you know, like those late night talk shows and just they'll have the band at the back of like KO with MO, KO with MO.
So I expect I have it right here.
There we
So
go.
In those Chinese bags and all?
You got it. Hey. They did actually a pretty good job. We'll talk about that, but we'll catch up with some of the news and all that, and then I'll cue Spin to set up the KO with MO.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Oh, there goes
I get my adult toys in bags like that too.
I get a drink.
Can you bring me one too, Bill?
In non-descriptive
I can.
packages. Which then shows up on the credit card as just a gift.
Yeah.
Because I got the hookups.
Well, we control your vertical. We control the horizontal.
Yeah, we put a
Lila's
curtain
leggings.
on the alcohol level last night.
Right on. Celebrating the Halloweenings.
Oh yeah,
Right
yeah.
on.
Did you see the picture of the whole group that came as Gru and the minions?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! There was like 19 of them dressed up as minions, and then a buddy of mine, Pete, my tech guy that builds this computer for me, he was dressed as Gru. And I was like, "What in the hell?" They just come walking up the driveway. I was like, "Look out!"
Let me get the picture of that.
Am I making people hungry because I'm eating, or I apologize? I would like to offer, I usually like to offer food, but
I mean, it's working on me. I ate before the stream, and now I'm like, man, I wish I had second dinner.
yeah.
I got
Just pass it
homemade
to the side there.
Yeah.
homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Give me.
Let's see it again, Mr. Magnus. There you go.
Give. just put. They don't have computers. Don't have CD drives anywhere. So like, just open your CD drive, put it in, close the CD drive.
Amazing. I wish there was that technology.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do we have to catch up with any news or what?
Yeah. Oh
There's
man,
a lot
so
of
much stuff
news.
has happened this week. We didn't even get to John Warden. Holy cow! Hasbro just fired their creative lead, and
Yeah.
like he just came back to the position in April or something like that.
Yeah, it's really strange because he was over at like GI Joe, I think, right?
Mhm.
And then they're like, "I'm coming back to Transformers," and then it's like, "No, I'm not. I'm actually being let go."
Wow, that's not good. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You
It's a
guys,
bad
It's a
thing.
very uncertain, leaves us very uncertain as to what is going to happen next
Yeah.
with Transformers.
I mean, he didn't like I said, he hasn't been on the design team for a little bit, but like I think like Siege was like his thing, right? Like he was the War for Cybertron trilogy was at least started by him.
These are not Chewy Chips Ahoy's, RJ. These are homemade Toll House.
special was love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a very very strange thing for them to just immediately for him to just be immediately off of it again.
Yeah, very strange. There was a show. Aaron Archer did a good talk about what his thoughts about that scenario on Friday, and
Oh, interesting. What do you say?
well, it's like you have to. Okay, so number one, he was talking about like how Hasbro's looking at doing a lot of licensing. Like maybe the future is they're just going to be a licensing company, and they're just going to license out the rights to like whoever Paramount to write whatever.
Yeah.
That's a daunting thing because they also have a relationship with Takara. Now, if Hasbro is not doing that, then Takara's not. If like they're on some kind of a contract, right? They got to keep doing this. Otherwise, Takara is just going to say, "Well, off you go with Hasbro with your own thing."
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't really get another company to make these toys. So yeah, it's a possibility that they'll lose the license with Takara, but like you never know.
Well, I'm thinking about how like they stopped making Power Rangers after a few years there, like, and now apparently they're licensing that out. Like Playmates has said they're gonna make the toys under license from Hasbro, so like that's already sort of starting to happen.
Yeah, a lot of cross branding stuff happening.
Yeah.
Well, would it be better to license? Because let's be honest, okay? I don't know about you guys, but this whole new Transformer One line that came out, it's very kiddish, very Earth-spark.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
invested
hate
in
to
it.
say it, crap. Right? They're just being a bunch of retools of old toys.
Yeah.
The Studio Series guys look good, but those guys are coming out on a very like sort of staggered schedule. Like Optimus is out now, Megatron's coming, and then you got our other leads like on the horizon. Yeah, that guy's a neat one. The one that Mr. Magnus has there.
Yeah, great gimmick. Innovative.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until Thu did his big unboxing because they sent him a gift box and he demonstrated it on video. We're like, yeah, he evolves and it's really neat.
That is cool. And I really felt that was like one of the more upfront themes of the movie is like, yeah, like becoming more than yourself and like that was
More than meets the eye.
Yeah, you could say. You could say.
Yeah, I need to.
Well, by the same notion, uh, for Anthony, when you were gone, I also had pictures from another one that was it released the same time this one was, and it was Starscream.
Mhm.
And
going
the
to
figure
mention.
looks good. Figure looks good. On the front of the picture, or the front of the box, it's a beautiful looking Tetra Tet.
Mhm.
Awesome. You turn him over, he turns into an F-15.
Yeah, yeah. You know why? Because that's an old Titan hero that they re-released in Transformers One packaging.
I figured that after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. It's because it's just a retool. They didn't want to make a new Starscream alt mode for this movie, so they
Yeah.
just took an old one. For God's sakes, that's really poor.
Picked it up. I picked it up and had it in my cart.
Yeah, those
And I
Transformers.
just happened to put it in upside down, and I went, what?
Yeah.
And I picked it back up. Did I grab the wrong one?
Yeah. See, I have heard that the Prime Changers are pretty good, which are like the normal deluxes that they're putting out in Transformers One packaging, like Optimus, Alpha Trion, Bumblebee, and Sentinel. But the thing is, first of all, there's no plans to do anybody else, just those ones. And second of all, they're all the same size, so they're not in scale with each other or anything.
Which is unfortunate because back in the day, you get like all of the characters in a deluxe line as soon as the movie hits theaters, type of thing.
Yeah, and again, Studio Series is doing all of them, and they're scaling them better, like Sentinels of Voyager, but they're not out yet. Like they're just slowly trickling them out, which is fine for me because I'm like an occasional purchaser, but it's still really weird.
And so,
Yeah.
for those that want to reference what Mr. Magnus is talking about, watch our video from last week when Magnus has his murder prime moment. It shows
Man, I was hot. I was hot.
Well, here's the thing, because I'm looking at those Transformer ones. They remind me of the 2014 around there Transformers universe,
Mhm.
kind of chill, one for the children's, right?
The Authentics.
Yeah, I bought one the Optimus Prime one that turns into has the wing that pops out and everything is super huge, and that's what it reminded me of, that of the Transformer One Prime, right? It's find it very kiddish, and I just didn't like the transformation either as well too, right? It's just I don't know, very very cheap. Right, it almost kind of reminds me of the Transformers that spin hold at the very beginning of the show, right? So I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that, right? I don't know, as a personal collector for myself, I probably will buy that for my if I had a 4 or 5, 6 years old kid.
Well, also that is sort of the audience, so hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Okay.
Did it really land?
I don't think so.
I don't think so because I kept going back to Toys R Us and those shelves were still full of those same figures. Nobody's buying them.
Nope. If you compare to RG1 toys that we had at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Oh, hey, RJ.
I think it's much better than the Transformers that are marketing to the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So I don't know. That's my little murder prime moment at this time. Which set me up there.
RJ's saying something interesting here. He's like, I'm hoping Warren already laid out the design or product plans for 2025, but beyond that, that's a mystery which direction Transformers will go in. He was talking about Age of the Primes, that one that we were just talking about with the Fallen. He started that, right? That was his first thing. So I wonder how much of that's still going to happen.
But you know what? I would. I mean, I don't know if I would take that as a personal issue, but in a sense, when you start looking at how corporations treat employees and stuff, where it's hire him back on, get all of his ideas out of him, and then fire him, but then still make money off of those ideas for the next year and a half, 2 years. I mean, that's not cool.
Yeah.
There's a person that a lot of people have been villainizing, possibly correctly, possibly incorrectly. So, yes, the Hasbro CEO with the very unfortunate name. People have his middle initial is P. I forget what it stood for, but people are like, so his name is Chris P. Cox. This is a real thing. So people are like, does he have a chip on his shoulder because he probably got bullied as a kid like crazy? Because how do you go to school with that name?
Wow.
That's
the
hilarious.
Yeah.
So what's the controversy with him? I
Oh.
know there's something about a salary. Is that what it is?
Oh no, just like all these weird things started happening when Brian Goldner passed away and this guy took over. Like that's when Power Rangers very suddenly and abruptly got axed.
Okay. Yeah.
And like suddenly John Warden's gone because the transfer was very recent, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are pointing it directly at him. Maybe correctly, maybe incorrectly, right? But all this starts happening when a different guy takes over. So
Mhm.
Well,
Some-
whenever a different guy takes over, they always want to put their thumbprint onto
yeah,
everything, right?
Yeah.
However, you have to look at a little bit of what you've done and what's successful, and try to innovate from there. If you're a proper CEO and you want to do something, innovative for your company to take it
Yeah.
forward, right?
One little bit of insight that I would pick up from Aaron Archer in that
Well, like
whole Hasbro universe is that like you have to, number one, you have to be a problem solver on how to figure out how to do this toy or line and be able to also relay that to the board, because like yeah, sure, you can have these great ideas, but if you can't convince the big heads or the higher ups, then that's just never going to fly, right? So sometimes some people might have an easier in with these higher ups than others. Some might be able to relate better to the CEOs, and then other times the heads might just have their own ideas and they'll just inject that into the product line anyways. So that's an interesting dynamic, is that like if you want to be in that position, you have to really like solve problems. You have to like make sure you could design the toy, it's functional, it's cost saving, and you're also making the higher ups happy. There's a lot of things involved.
Let me add to that. When you're a problem solving, and one of the biggest problem solving I guess one of the problems that he has to solve, let me put it that way, is the marketing towards kids or getting new customers in a sense, right? I don't see, this is my own personal opinion, you probably guys maybe know better than me or whatever case is, but I don't see any real marketing towards the new generations to take over the Transformer collection from us.
yeah.
'Cause I'm sorry to say this, we're going to be a dying breed after, and when we're gone, who's going to take over for us, right?
I had a thought about that and I think we're along the same wavelength a little bit, because like Legacy, right? Legacy is doing very well. It's very common. It's very easy to get. There's a lot of great things, gears, skids, road pig, but there's no media behind that. Like it's strictly marketed for collectors. And then it's kind of odd that Transformers 1, which is like a big flagship production that is going to have a lot of eyeballs on it, that kind of feels like a secondary thing merchandise-wise. And I'm like, I feel like the priority should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Like the emphasis that Legacy's getting should have been given to Transformers 1, and like
Yes.
like much as I love what Legacy's doing, but it's because I'm like a 30-something collector, right? Maybe you don't need to market to me as much as you do the people that are going to watch the movie.
See, what hooked us
Yeah.
is the the Saturday morning after school cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as we saw that cartoon, it was like, oh my god, we got to go get that, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that now. Like, with my own son, let's just say, now he's turning 14 in December, and I'm his marketer, right? Like, I'm the guy that presents the Transformers, say, hey, isn't this pretty cool? Look at this new one that came out. And he looks at me, yeah, okay, whatever, Dad.
Well, what I see is that like John Warden, I don't think he has much to do with the marketing as much as being like a creative lead.
That's the problem.
That's Mr. Magnus is pointing it out right there.
Hold on.
This is the problem
Well-
right here. When we were kids,
Yeah.
we got to watch the show,
Correct?
Yeah.
and then we had
Commercials.
the option to own the toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes
Nobody
me,
has to use their imagination anymore,
Well,
so
That
they can
brings-
just get it right here.
that's true. And also another thing that Aaron Archer mentioned is that by transferring this all the information media into the phone, you don't have that like consistent, oh, everyone's watching this show at the same time, they're all going to be watching this commercial for the toy. It's not like that anymore. So it's very expensive to do marketing, right? So I think the future, as RJ was asking, where do you see the future going? I see the future as being licensing out these toys and merchandise and having those companies worry about that marketing aspect, because that's very, very expensive avenue.
I also think it's taking it from a whole different, in a sense, creating new ideas or concepts and going a whole different direction, because you look at things that when we were kids to what exists now. For us as a kid, when Knight Rider came out, we were like, oh cool, here's this robotic car, nothing like this ever exists on the planet. To a kid now, they're like, well, that's just a Tesla, there's millions of them, there's nothing special about that. Whereas just like, as kids, where it's like, oh, here's this cool Voltron transformer and this and that. The kids now, they'll be like, well, there's 20 versions of Optimus, there's millions of Voltrons, there's Grandizers, there's Boston Dynamics, and and Tesla robots. It's not cool, like there's a million of them. So in a sense, they've got to come up with a concept that really grabs their attention of like, this has never existed, this is something new. But again, as Mr. Magnus pointed out, a lot of kids, even from the age of like 3, they're on their cell phones. So it's like, in terms of a toy or concept, how do you break away from that?
Can you stream, so the current TV show is Earthspark, and it is sort of getting a 3rd season because it turned out that the 2nd season was just really long, so they decided to just chop it in half.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
seasons after.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. That's where it's being shown. Can you stream Paramount Plus on your phone?
Yeah,
probably.
You can stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's sort of it's less of anything specific fault and more just the way media works these days. I'm like, they do have a TV show, and the TV show does have a toy line, but you better be subscribed to Paramount Plus and not any of the 1,200 other services, and in order to watch it, right?
But that's
there he is.
Whereas, like, as children, it's like Saturday morning cartoons. Like, at least for us in Canada, it was like between NBC, ABC, and CBS.
Yeah.
And then Fox came along. They came along years later because it was the big 3 that really held down the Saturday morning cartoons. So you think about it, 3, 4, maybe 5. Compared to now, there's thousands and thousands of competitors where it's like, okay, I want this cartoon, I can only see it this day or this certain time. Now there's millions of cartoons available 24/7. You're competing with that. That's a huge market to compete against.
Okay, so here's the other thing that's kind of bothered me a little bit, right? As a parent, I'm not too worried about it. But as a person that likes Transformers or trying to market Transformers, what happened to the video games?
Yeah.
Like if you look at Star Wars, the only reason why Star Wars is still kind of surviving is because they're coming out with really cool video games.
Yeah, everybody likes that Outlaws one that just came out. I haven't played it, but like everybody seems to like it.
So the last one, the actual last good one was Devastation. But prior to that, they had War for Cybertron, which I thought it was a great video game as well too. It's almost like Call of Duty to a certain degree, right?
I will say the Cyberverse game, it was called Battlegrounds. That was pretty good. It also wasn't a AAA thing though. It was obviously like a fairly budget game. It just happened to be really fun. It was like a tactics type thing.
That's one thing I think they're lacking is the video game aspect to it, because let's face it, a lot of the kids today, they love playing video games. As parents, that's we have to fight with them and all that kind of stuff, right? But I'll tell you right now, if they had a really cool version of Call of Duty, Halo kind of version of Transformers, I'll sit there with my son for maybe about an hour, play with him, right? And then after that, kick him off and tell him to go do his homework, right?
Here's the thing. Do you remember Transformers Reactivate? They've been trying to make that for years now. It's supposed to be a big budget AAA thing on the next gen consoles. It is stuck in development hell. It was supposed to be out years ago. They are supposedly still making it. They have put out toys based on it because the toy pipeline just kept going, even though the game was delayed. Like, remember they did those 2-packs, Optimus and Soundwave, and then Bumblebee and Starscream?
Yep.
Yeah. The game's not out. Who knows when it'll be out? They said the last post we got from them was, you can look for news before the end of the year, and it's October now, so everybody's kind of looking at their watches.
Yeah.
So they're trying. It's just not happening.
And also, like, sorry.
Go ahead, Decepticitty.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, even like Transformers Devastation was like an awesome shout out to Transformers G1,
Mm-hmm.
and that didn't get much of a following. I didn't hear very much about the game outside of like my friends and community, right? So I think like Transformers video games is also itself like a niche thing. Like, you'd have to be interested in the franchise in the first place to pick a game, unless it was like amazing and a brand new thing. Like, I don't know, this new video game that they were doing sounded like it was supposed to be something new and innovative, but I have a hard time believing that a licensed franchise would be pulling something like that off versus like an established gaming company. The Activision games were great though. Like, don't get me wrong, like all those Transformer games are really awesome, but they're not as groundbreaking as say like a Kojima game or something like that, where I would expect like the whole world to be just immersed in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so going back to what you were saying originally, licensing, right, these products. Here's a great example then. If I'm Hasbro, I would definitely go that route and license my product to the experts. Look at Skybound comic book series.
Right.
That is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I really do hope they start making some figures from that comic book.
Wow, what would that look like? Because it's just G1 Optimus. So could you say the new Studio 86 Optimus is also Skybound Optimus because it's the exact same design?
You know what? I don't care. Like, it's okay as a person that grew up on that, right? For me, hey man, I'll take it, right?
Well, let's envision what would happen. Let's say they did a Skybound edition Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a repaint. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Maybe they'll give him the Megatron arm.
And they'll put some scuffs on him, like the comic book. Yeah, Megatron arm, like.
No, I agree. Hold on, guys. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with what you guys are saying, right? But the whole point is that, the Skybound, comic book series is going fantastic, right?
Sure, it's great. Absolutely amazing.
Right. So they should be taking advantage of that, right?
But there are toys, though.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that, but take advantage of it. Maybe the people that are buying, like the younger crowd that are buying the comic books, can say, hey, we're coming out with Skybound Transformers, dedicated to Skybound, and they have like the Skybound covers or whatever cases. So now they're able to relate to that particular figure and say, hey, at least now I got that figure from the comic book.
You know what?
I'm just throwing something out there as an example, going back to what you were saying about licensing, right?
Exactly.
Get to the experts.
So I'm going to say, like, they're doing comic edition figures based on Marvel. Like, this is the Straxus one. Maybe they can do some of these with Skybound. They don't have to just be all Marvel.
Yeah, like I got some Skybound comics that I picked up. I'll see that I'll show right now. Hold on.
Cool. Actually, let's quickly catch up on the comments.
Do that first, and we'll do this after.
But by the way, really quickly, the first trade for Skybound is now in bookstores. I have seen it. You can get it at like Chapters, probably. I saw it in a Kohl's in the mall. So if you haven't read this yet, go buy the trade. It's the first 6 issues. Give it a read. Everybody who likes Transformers should read it.
RGS says, did you guys already talk about the Constructicon leak for Bone Crusher and Scrapper? Sick.
Not yet.
Now they have elbows and ankle articulation. I can't wait. We did show the images on the previous stream.
Yeah. And it wasn't a leak. It was like an official thing. They got on video and was like, here's the new guys.
I will play it again.
Play the video.
RJ also says that they need to go back to what works and sells: Studio Series, 86 figures, etc. I mean, Cyberverse has a TV animation show, but the toys are not selling, so even the cartoons need work and direction.
Cyberverse was great. I wish that it got like a full dedicated toy line. There's a few people that were belatedly released in Legacy, but I'm like, that's not that's not enough.
No, I think but the quality had to be better.
Cyberverse was great, unless they mean Earthspark, which I didn't really like, but whatever. Next show, right?
And Shiba Kobe says, to be entirely fair, Herbie the Love Bug which is true, did the sentient car thing first, but he was in no way high tech like Kid.
Yeah.
And before that, any of that, there was My Mother the Car, which was a haunted car, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, a magical car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
wait, and Christina, since it's a Hollywood theme going on this week, right?
Is it Christine?
yeah.
Christina, whatever.
The Stephen King novel. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That was okay. That just brings me back. Like these old movies, just like makes me think of a time when like tropes were like that were like cool because they weren't so commonplace as they are now.
Exactly.
Like
Yes.
the thinking toaster. Like that was like a innovative thing back then, right? The little toaster that could. Was that the one? Yeah, it was.
The
I
brave
love
little
that.
toaster.
Brave
Yeah.
little toaster. Yes, yes. I love that.
RJ Eagle says, good point, Spin. What cartoons do kids watch nowadays, or even talk about? SpongeBob, Pokemon, Earthspark is not really reaching to the kids effectively. Maybe
I gotta-
G1 style animation like X-Men 97.
I have a couple. I have some young nephews and nieces. People who were at the wedding saw them, right? I should ask them what they watch. Actually don't know. That's our problem. None of us know because we're.
Okay,
Oh,
hold
A
on.
little bit
Hold
disconnected.
on.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I got a 13 that's turning a 14.
Oh
and
yeah.
a daughter, okay?
Subject
What
right
is she
here.
into?
I kid you not. You know what they watch? Freaking YouTube, and whatever
That's true.
young people that are creating content, and half of the time, they're
Well,
like,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is right. It is.
Watch
they're
Children
like,
of Primus.
Okay,
Right? Well,
here's something to add to what you're saying, and it's really funny because when my daughters were a bit younger, Barbie, who she's under Mattel, I believe. Whoever wrote the cartoons and stuff for Barbie created a whole YouTube channel, and the amount of views and likes those cartoons would get. But the funny thing is, the content within how the episodes were written are borderline adult material, but still written for like young teens and early children. But it was funny to watch, and I mean that probably would push a whole lot of like Barbie sales again.
So going back to what I was saying is like, for example, my daughter will watch like these kids playing Minecraft. I'm sorry, Minecraft, right?
Minecraft's huge for the kids.
Yeah, and or my daughter will watch like adults that do like crafts, altering crafts and all that, like for kids. So it's, they're like a kids show, right? Like, but they're adults, they're dressed as kids, whatever, and they're making all these crafts and all that kind of stuff for kids.
So like Art Attack.
Or take part.
Yeah, something exactly,
Yep,
like or Romperoo or whatever. Like, but
Yeah.
now all that stuff got transferred onto YouTube, and you got these people that are creating these kind of contexts, right?
Yep.
And then with my son, now that he's older, right? So when he was younger, he used to watch Disney Channel, with Mike the Knight and all that kind of stuff, right? But now that he's older, he's just like, because he's really into hockey and so forth, right? He's just watching videos about hockey, like either games or how to drills or stick handling or other kids that are his age doing things in hockey, and he's watching that on YouTube. It's a lot of YouTube, man. It's no more of the TV channels that we grew up with, right? It's all YouTube content creators like us.
To be fair, at least Hasbro has been going out of its way to gradually upload what seems like almost every Transformers show legally onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the full G1 cartoons there. I know they were doing Beast Wars. I think they're doing some of the other shows too. They're just putting them up on their official channels. So I don't know about getting an audience, but at least they're on the platform. Just
Yes.
they're like, let's just put it there. That way people can find it.
I like that it's there. I appreciate that they're doing that. But
Yeah.
that's exactly the type of thing that Hasbro needs. This is the exact question that they're pondering themselves. How do we take this old 40-year-old franchise and regurgitate it for this new generation? If we could figure that out for them, all of us have a job over there, including the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone could figure that out over here. We have a high up position in Hasbro.
Or RJ, who's also a parent, goes back to the old school days. He says, "So true, Orlati. YouTubers, or as they are called now, content creators, are in demand. Mine watches Corey, Kenshin, and Dashi."
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
And I guarantee probably my daughter watches the same thing, but I don't know their names. That's the only difference, right? Okay.
There's Superwoman. Superwoman is someone I'm familiar with because she's from our hood.
cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So here's the first comic that I picked up from Skybound.
Oh, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. So it's
Hold
issue
on,
number
just
11.
one second.
Yeah.
Quickly show what RG was asking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got
love
the-
these ads.
Yeah. And now, from the cybernetic space cube.
Yeah,
With
like-
little Tommy.
yeah, because I've tracked this down. Like they did all this CGI for these commercials, and then they would use them during the ad breaks for Generation 2, like the We Now Return to the Transformers things.
Yeah.
So there was at least one. I was definitely Bone Crusher, like transforming at a construction site like this. But he was yellow because it was the G2 one. But yeah, exact same idea.
See,
I
this is
love
what I understand about YouTube right now. Like, we're a Children of Primus Transformer content creator here.
Yeah.
Why are they not playing these commercials during our video?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. They would have to pay us to, or do something
Mm-hmm.
if we were going to advertise for them, right? So that's the whole business side of it, right? And yeah,
So
that's a lot of money to be thrown around. Like, for example, my company that I work with, we've probably spent more than $100,000 on like Facebook pay-per-clicks and YouTube ads with no return, with zero return. Like, we've done this, and there's we've worked with all kinds of marketing experts. Like, we've worked with Facebook and directly with YouTube and directly with Google, and they're like, okay, try this, and we have this project for you, and here we'll put this funding, and like, there's so many different ways to go about it, and it's so complex and convoluted, but at the end, nobody cares.
Because some companies are like, you know what, we're not going to do social media. We're still going to pay, what's the rate now? I think $6 million for a 30-second commercial spot in a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. It's just Super
That
Bowl.
used to be what it cost to rebuild a man.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Nice one.
Fuck inflation and holy
Yeah,
shit.
over to you, Mr. M to the O.
All right. So I have issue number 11 here, Transformer,
Yeah.
which
Sweet.
I really hope blow me up, man.
That'd be $20.
Right. I when I saw this, I rushed to go pick it up because I love the artwork. However, one of the reasons why, not because I got it, because obviously Shockwave is on there beating up Optimus Prime,
Mhm.
it just reminded me of this issue right here, the Marvel's issue.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
So now I compare these two together and have Shockwave kick ass.
Yeah, I hope you're actually reading these too.
Sure.
Oh, because I was just gonna say, like, this Shockwave definitely doesn't bring back the vibes of the Marvel Shockwave. This is a very different Shockwave, especially
I know.
dynamic with Optimus Prime.
I know, but the
Yeah.
whole point is I like the art. The artwork is fantastic. Hold on, I actually.
And you know what?
And
There's
to the
more good
Alexis
artwork inside.
Just don't read the first
Hold
page
on,
or
wait,
the
wait,
last
wait,
page.
wait, wait. Hold on, pull me back up again, blow me up again, whatever you. Should I? Well, hold on. I pulled a bill.
There you go.
So I bought two. Okay, so there you go, Bill. I bought two. All right. So shout out to Bill there to finally convince me to buy two things. Now check this one out. I got Energon Universe The Void, but look at this. It's our two friends.
Oh, is that a Skuxoid?
What is that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember, he's like a main character in Void Rivals.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that was pretty cool.
That background is what I used to have my school photos in front of.
A great And then hold on. Then we got obviously another issue number 1 here.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, you're getting like all the variants.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And then the last one here that I got, I thought this was really, really nice.
Nice.
It
Oh
is.
yeah.
Okay, like I wish they, I hope somebody comes up with like posters, right? Where
Oh,
that,
definitely.
yeah, just just get these covers and just put them up and all that. I think
Mhm.
just the covers itself, I'd rather just hang it up on a wall. Art. Now, because of these comic books, going back to what I was saying earlier, right? If they pulled out and if they created, a quintesson like this in a heartbeat, I'll be going to go buy them for sure.
Oh, like, yeah, definitely. It's like a statue, you mean?
No, I just a regular figure that like the like, well, I don't know if things are gonna fall behind.
Well, that's the difficulty about making a figure, because you have to consider all the injection molding, and like you're limited, right? So if you're gonna do a sculpture, that would be more feasible, I think.
So we have this one here, right?
Which is not bad.
Okay, no, I agree, but when this came out, I was like, okay, I gotta go get this because I always wanted that as a kid. But I tell you right now, if they came up with a figure like this, in a heartbeat, and this is what I was trying to say before, that right now that Skybound is blowing up, and people are actually really buying this and reading the comic book and so forth, right? Maybe they should capitalize on this and start making some figures based on that.
You know what? I love your ideas, or you definitely have some great ideas, because that definitely would sell, and that definitely appeals to me too.
He has a geared gimmick. If you ever unbox him, you pull the lever and you spin his heads around.
Really, like I'm glad Hasbro actually did a quintesson figure, and
how long were we waiting
to go along with it?
Reached the verdict.
Guilty
or
but think about it. How long we were waiting for a figure like that?
40 years.
Exactly.
Right?
So what it's going to take is if we come up with a good idea for them and say, hey, look, this is the plan. This is what's going to sell because we're experts at this, and we present it in a logical business thing so the corporate guys can understand, and then there you go. We're the next consultants of Hasbro/Skybound.
That's it. And if they question our consulting skills, they can check out our website, childrenofprimus.com. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share to your friends.
Subtle as a brick.
Yeah, I will say one thing that you got to keep in mind about why don't they do a toy of this or that. I know from studying how movie toys work, there's a pipeline and it's a couple years long. So if something unexpectedly blows up, you might have to wait a couple years before there's a figure of it, unless they already have one being worked on, like in advance.
Like the Marvel Blade movie.
Yeah.
We won't mention that.
Whenever they make, like, even the Transformers 1 guys, like, they had to start making these like a couple years before the movie came out, and they kind of just had to work with usually how it goes is they work with concept art and a shooting script. So like with these comics, like, why aren't they making figures of them? Maybe they're in the pipeline. Skybound's only been going for about a year. Give it another year or and change, and then maybe we'll see some stuff from it.
What we should we should just make our own figures and say, hey, look, Skybound, we have these really awesome things. Let's just pitch it to both companies, and I think that's kind of the more likely scenario of what would happen instead of like either one of those two companies taking that initiative.
And again, if another company that creates awesome video games, right, and they revamp, warforcybertron, then there's a future toy line of that as well too.
Yeah,
they kind of did already to a certain degree with the Universal line, right? But they got to revamp that and blow it up and give it that market and get kids interested in that and say, hey, here's a complete different, gaming system that you could do, or some gimmick thing to it. And then also, get the... I'll give you one example. Like, again, I'm going to go back to Star Wars. When the Wii U, they had those little figures that you put on top of... what they're called again?
Amiibos.
Yeah. They still make them.
There you go. I have a whole bunch of them. I have all the Marvels and Star Wars because my son loved them, right? And maybe they could do something like that again. Bring something back, and then you can collect his little figures and throw them on there, and then maybe that could be the start of getting getting the figures back out into people's hand, and then they can finally say, hey, you know what? Let me try the transforming one, and that'd probably be even better, right? Progression, right? I don't know. I'm just running out there, and if anybody copies my ideas, remember, you heard it here first. I'm Children of Primus.
Well, if any company does that, it would be Nintendo to do something like that with their video game. I don't know if they're doing something like that with the Switch. Maybe in the Animal Crossing, they might be some kind of accessory similar to that. Or can you use amiibos on Switch?
Yes, you can. They still
you
have the
can?
same software. Yeah.
Oh, well, so there you go. You can make, but like that requires Nintendo and Hasbro / Takara to do a crossover or licensing there.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on the comments, and then we'll go over to Shiba Kobe's comic, because that's actually pretty funny. Toy War Vintage Reviews is saying a real estate friend of mine was showing a house and somehow brought up to a kid that he knew me, and the kid asked to meet me back when I was doing Forza content.
What? What a coincidence.
Love it when that
Wait
happens.
a minute. A kid was asking you for candy in a white truck? What? In a white van? What?
Because the white vans used to roll up and be like, "You guys want some speakers?" They're like, "Hot! I got these extra ones that that manufacturers didn't sell." And it's like, "You guys want speakers?" And like, it's always the white van.
I see that all the time.
Yeah, which I saw that again a couple of years ago, and I think it was like a white SUV, and I'm like, "You guys upgraded now." Like that scam's like 30 years old.
It's so funny.
And RG says, "True or Lottie, got that Skybound and G1 issue 6 as well as Shockwave. But yeah, this Shockwave is different, but I like his interaction with Soundwave and the tapes. Poor Soundwave."
Yeah, I love that aspect of it. I love Soundwave so much in these comics. I relate with him so much.
This Shockwave reminds me a lot of the Marvel one specifically, where he's like ambitious and forceful, but also cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out about, it's a bit of a spoiler, but we found out Starscream original name.
Oh, that is a deep cut, because that's existed since we've known about that for years, because that was what his original name was going to be in the treatment before Bob Budiansky got a hold of it.
Nice.
Starscream was going to be called Ulchtar.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Why did he become Starscream?
Oh, don't spoil it. I actually haven't read this issue yet.
Okay.
I haven't read it either, but I'm talking about real life.
Let's do that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, because I know this. Bob Budiansky's original name.
Yeah. They had somebody else. I forget who it was. Write the initial Transformers treatment, and they were like, "This sucks. Bring in Bob Budiansky."
Yeah.
And he was like, "They called Starscream Ulchtar," and I was like, "Why would you call this character that? I'm going to give him a better name." But he kept Optimus Prime because he thought that sounded good.
Yeah, those Greek names.
Yeah.
RJ also says, "Yeah, Skybound Transformer comics are always getting sold out at my ICS store, LCS, local comic shop. In case you didn't know."
Yeah, apparently they're doing really good. They were outselling a bunch of the Marvel and DC books, and they broke the records that were previously held by Dreamwave back in the 2000s. So they're like doing well by comic standards, you know.
And awesome. What other franchise is being helped now because of Skybound? G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have Larry Hama's things continuing, and we have this new... They're finally launching a proper ongoing out of all these minis they've been doing for the Energon Universe version. Imagine
G.I. Joe, they made a video game with G.I. Joe, and that was like the original Call of Duty. You know how that particular game would have blown up? Yeah. But see, they can't do that now because Call of Duty already exists, and one of the things that's always in the 21st century seemed to dog G.I. Joe is trying to figure out something they can be that isn't already something else that's like doing it better. Right. That sentence didn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, totally. That was the thing. Is Call of Duty was a brand new, innovative thing. To pay that additional licensing fee to Hasbro and whoever, and also have those people inject their ideas on how it should be done. Right. Then we wouldn't have had the whatever masterpiece or ongoing phenomenon that it is.
Well, they were based on. Hold on, I'm going to get confused with the two franchises if I recall correctly. If it's one franchise, like they were based on Tom Clancy's
That's Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. So that's the other one, right? But that was based on Tom Clancy's book. Splinter Cell came out. A lot of people were buying his books because of the video games as well.
The video game was also enabled to be so successful because of Metal Gear Solid's recent success, right? That was a whole new genre. The stealth espionage action was a new thing. Yeah. And Splinter Cell was like the budget version of it, in my opinion.
RJ Eagle says...
They capitalized on the time.
To one of the earlier comments, Arjigo says, however, I agree with Deceptikitty. Skybound figures will be repaints because their designs are too similar to G1, unlike the IDW designs, which are super unique.
If they made a Skybound RC, they would need to make a new figure because she changes into like a concept Lambo now instead of her usual thing. That's about the only one that I think is a different design. Even then, her robot mode looks the same, so that would be an interesting figure to see them try and engineer.
That'd be
Like,
cool.
yeah, it's like what they do with the Origin figures, where they have to have a robot mode that looks one way and changes into something completely different.
Like the Starscream Transformer one that Bill's upset about. Mr. Magnus.
So over here we have Shiva Kobe's comic strip. I believe it's about 7 panels that she did with Springer, and and it's funny that I caught what she got. So I think we'll all just randomly pick voices and stuff. But as the top says, here's your host, Springer.
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 And he's like, please welcome the guy that's going to keep my guests from literally murdering each other, Steve French.
Steve.
Do you ever feel ashamed about the person you are dating, or are you in love with? Our first guest found herself in the exact situation. Let's bring her out.
Oh my God.
So, RC, tell us about your boyfriend. What's he like? How come you feel ashamed about being in a relationship with him?
Well, he's evil, but when I broke up with Hot Rod, he was so attentive. He makes me feel special, like I matter. He was a demon in the sack, like he was sweeping me off my feet. I love him, but...
Let's bring out the boyfriend. So, Scourge, tell me about your relationship with RC. Of all the femmes, why choose her?
I've wanted her ever since I set optics on her. During the war, Galvatron forbade us to date Autobot femmes. But now that there is no war, I figured she's fair game. Hot Rod took her for granted. I aim to rectify that. Also, she's skilled at censored.
Ooh.
Two RCs.
Two RCs. Oh, someone jump in his RC.
Don't come at me just because you got your sweeps confused. I heard you went through all of them.
Ooh.
Jesus. By Unicron, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen.
Steve, you know what to do.
Ah! All right, you know what?
Drool.
You can have him.
Steve.
This is
Go ahead.
the mech I've always wanted.
Oh, she'll be back. Something too.
No, RC, please give me another chance. Now for our guest, RC, who is also dating a sweep.
RC.
Forget it, Hot Rod. Scrooge is twice the mech you'll ever be.
That's a low blow. Oh my God.
Then
that's
we've restarted.
hilarious. That's hilarious. I love the whole Jerry Springer concept. That's absolutely. I used to watch that show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we have another segment now. Springer.
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 Yeah, here's the guy. The guy.
The guy himself.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
The star of the show.
Look at that guy.
That guy.
So I have a couple of little reveals too before I have to go.
Let's see.
I know.
So last night at the Halloween party, a friend of mine brought me this. They make these pumpkins in their shop.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
Wow. Holy
And-
cow. Holy cow.
Oh,
How does he make these nice pumpkins?
They're just carved out of the skin that's on them.
Oh, hold on. That's a real
It's no.
Oh, okay.
It's a decoration pumpkin, but they've got a thing that carves the design, and it just burns this outer layer of paint off of it.
Ah, sweet. Wow, still that's impressive. Holy cow.
Very cool.
And this guy got delivered. Let me find the trigger here. So this is Firecracker. This is another mask vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember.
Mask.
Nice.
Insane suspension.
That's that's the kind of car I need for driving downtown Toronto with all the freaking potholes.
That's for the warrior pimps.
Seriously.
Well, that's a vehicle you need to get traffic out of the way too.
Yeah.
So cool.
Mhm.
RC is basically Cyberverse RC.
And this week I've got a box coming from Big Bad Toy Store that will have 3 Studio Series Dinobot swoops,
All right.
2
Of course.
2 Studio 86 Leader Autobot Springers, and 2 Movie Studio 86 Commander Class Optimus Primes.
Look how serious he is. Like the way he said.
Sweet. So one for bot mode, one for alt mode, or one to keep in the box.
Yep.
And,
Yep, and the Dinobots, of course, 'cause she's not watching, I hope. But I get my daughter one of the Dinobots every year when they come out,
Oh,
because they're
lovely.
one of her. She's the one that made the Grimlock cosplay jacket,
Yeah. Yeah.
and every time that they've dropped one, it's dropped just a month before her birthday, and her
Oh,
birthday's in
nice.
January.
Nice.
Yeah, her birthday's in January, so this will be sitting here for her. So she'll have all 5 of them after this, and I'll have 2 sets of all 5 of them.
That's so
Lovely.
cool. And Toywarp has a question for you, Mr. Magnus. Does Firecracker have the bladed tire and the?
No, it doesn't. And I just looked it up. God bless, man. They're proud of that thing on eBay. They want $40 for it, just the tire.
Ah, another currency, right?
Yeah. Which I got this for a song. This is one of the more expensive pieces
Uh-huh.
in Mask. I guess it's just because it's popular. People like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I got it for $27 in auction,
Oh, okay.
and it normally goes for around 40 to 70, especially with the characters in it. It's got both the drivers in it. It's just missing the tire and the motorcycle off the back.
Okay.
Who needs to buy Bitcoins when you just mask tires?
Mhm.
Mask accessory.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what it is, it's it's an off-road race truck, and in the back there's supposed to be a spare tire there.
Yeah.
And you hit this button on the side, and it would launch it, and it would fire off of it, and as it spun, these blades pop out of it.
Oh, get out! That's sick.
Nice.
We had the best toys in the 80s.
Exactly.
That is really cool. Yeah, Mask has a lot of really cool gimmicks. I unfortunately wasn't into that as much at the time as my Transformers.
See,
Yeah, there.
yeah, lead. You had, projectiles that can choke on, and blades that can pop your eye out, man.
Well, you know what? Like the concept of like these missiles is that like boys, or like maybe the people who were doing the design suggested that boys liked projectile play as if it's some type of recreation of ejaculating, right? So that was the
Interesting.
What in the
Yeah,
goddamn?
Because 7 and 8
that
year olds know what that
idea
is.
not represented by Children of Primus. That it really strictly belongs to Deceptikitty. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You know what? Sadly, that probably is.
It's probably true.
It's probably true.
it's so crazy. It's probably true.
All right.
As
Hold on.
we are rounding up, Shiva
Oh,
Colby
wait.
says the RC is basically Cyberverse RC, but with a little bit of a Harley Quinn personality.
Okay.
That's cool.
So
I'm sorry, I'm just never recovering from that.
I have to. Okay, it does sound really strange, but I'm pretty sure I heard it from that Spectre Creative, the guy who was like the head of.
Oh, I know him. I like his videos. He
Yeah, so he was talking about that. Like, of course, a lot of his toys that he worked on didn't have as much projectiles as some other companies might
Yeah,
have. but,
most Star Wars things don't, and that was his like main thing.
Yeah.
except for Boba Fett, the original one.
So, but there's a lot of psychology that's also behind some of like the toy making and modeling
yeah.
and marketing.
No, definitely.
Like even Thundercats, at the credits of Thundercats, there's credits to 3 psychologists, consultants, for a TV show that didn't even have much more going on outside of the TV show.
Well, I mean, marketing back then, there was a lot of, like consultants behind the marketing. And I mean, when you look back at the 3rd season episode where basically they wanted to do the mental assessment on Galvatron. I mean, the episode's written by like by a therapist. So it's it did exist back then.
So are you trying to say young boys like hoes?
Young boys like hoes. Is that a new rap song?
Garden hose?
Young boys like hoes.
Think about it.
Throw them bones.
No. Thundercat.
Remember, everyone, tune in next week for our guest Jeff Davis, who runs the Florida Toy Show and exhibitions.
Hey, hold on. I gotta do my reveal before we go because I want
Yeah.
to see this, right?
Oh, yes.
I've been waiting on that.
Yeah. All right. So here's our new segment. KO with MO.
KO with MO.
All right. So this package came all the way from China. Okay. And it took me about a month, actually a little bit more than a month before this was delivered to my house.
China.
So, China. Okay, we do billions and billions of stuff with China. And here's the wrapping.
I've seen such wrappings before.
It's very bubbly.
Looks like a case of hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Okay, boys and girls, when you're playing with scissors, always safety first. So the purpose I got this, again, the whole purpose of me getting this particular item is because I lost a whole bunch of G1s. And I want to, replace, my Dinobots that I lost, right? So I only have 2 left.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I wanted to do first, I wanted to see if these knockoffs lived up to the hype, right? Because, you read the descriptions, and this is taking forever for me to open up, sorry. But you read the descriptions, and they look fantastic until you get it into your hands. Now, the one thing that they did say about these companies is that when the box does arrive, the box does get damaged. Unfortunately, mine did. And the reason why mine got damaged, because it looked like Canadian, the Canadian border security, whatever the hell they call it, probably try to open this up because, as you can tell, the manual is right on the front there.
Yeah.
But if you look at the box itself, it's not too bad. It has that feeling to it. Here's the side.
Pretty squished. There's
Yep,
nice to be stat on it.
It's okay. Well, it gives us that vintage look.
Oh, nice flap. Oh, that's some nice flap point right there. Yeah.
Maybe if I collect 10 of these and I can mail that in, I can probably get an Omnibot.
Yeah.
40 years
What
later.
if the KO company just like ran that promotion fully?
I know, eh? But you know what? Again, they did a nice job in the back, right? Very G1. Again, the side. So who do we got here? We got Sharpno, right? Okay, so
No.
yeah, this thing's squished, man. Holy crow.
That's okay.
For a few years, because of copyright, he was known as Scrapnel.
Interesting. As Mr. Magnus is opening that Toy War Vintage Reviews, and as Deceptikitty mentioned, remember everyone, tune in next week for our guest Jeff Davis, who runs the Florida Toy Show and Exhibitions, and in the week after, the owner and operator of Sarasota Toy Museum. So he's going to be our upcoming guest.
That's cool.
All right.
I'm excited about that. Hearing a lot about that place.
We're finally able to open this sucker up. Okay. As you can see, it doesn't come in the styrofoam.
Yeah, no styrofoam, but a bubble and a card. Which was that did happen back in G1 for some figures, did it not?
I wouldn't know.
Inferno came like that. So some figures did.
Okay. So that's not necessarily out of the realm of reality, that bubble packaging.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, the mini bots and actually the limbs for Scramble City characters, yeah, I mean, they came in the bubble. They
Yeah.
basically cardboard in the bubble.
Yeah, bubble cards.
All right, finally get to open up this sucker here. Okay, here's this Pew Pew.
Ooh, nice chrome.
Yeah, very nice, very shiny, very plastic. Right, I have to say Pew Pew because in case of YouTube,
Yep.
algorithm bans us.
Right.
Here's the figure itself, and this is how it came in.
For some reason, Toy Warp says he's going to fight you about that toy next week, Orlotti.
Wrong. So,
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Murder Brian.
okay, here it is, right? So, I'm gonna grab the original one right over here.
Mhm.
Aw.
How convenient.
I know
that's
it.
the true comparison.
That was like a product placement, huh? How do I transform this guy?
I don't know. I never handled one. But it's a G1 guy. How hard can he be?
Legs flip,
I don't.
I mean,
pincers
there's
spread.
break it.
silver parts go in,
Spread those pincers, baby.
spin around the waist.
I'm spreading
fins
it,
come
but the
down.
legs don't want to open right up. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry guys, but the leg is freaking me out here. Like if I pull on it, I feel like it's really.
Are you
I
handling the
gotta,
KO or the real one?
No, I'm handling the KO. It's very stiff,
Yes.
which is a good thing, I guess.
Depends how the night's going.
All right. Okay, so let's compare the two, right? Let's look at it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is the G1. This is the KO.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. I can tell the G1 is old because it's lost some of its luster.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So let's look at his face. Is it clear?
No.
Not at all.
No,
It's not
your
your
camera's,
face.
your camera's focusing on you.
Yeah, it's focused on your face still. Your auto
Okay,
zoom's
let me
not
get it
on.
out of the way. Hello. Anyway, the whole point of what I'm about to say right now, they did a pretty good job on the knockoff.
Okay, so it's not
pretty-
exact.
No, it's exact. Look, for
yeah?
example, the G1, the waist, right?
Okay.
Same thing here. Waist. The only thing is I just can't pull down the leg at the moment because it's like all the limbs right now are very stiff.
Right,
So it's going
right.
to take me some time.
Yeah, you don't want to
loosen
scratch
them.
that chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but I'll
what-
tell you right now, it's very, 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 very similar.
Wow.
Like
What
sorry, go ahead.
what I want to know is like there's always like a made in Japan or the year or Takara or Hasbro written somewhere. I want to know what that comparison would be, and also like if there's sometimes circles for like those injection ports where those pins push out the pieces, and you might see those. And if they're in different places, that tells me it's a completely different mold. But if it's in the same place, then it's a possibility that it's the same mold or a copy of the same mold.
It's a copy of the same one. I'm literally looking at it and I'm like, wow. The only, again, I just can't push the leg out and to extend the leg. The only thing that this is missing
Mhm.
is the the rub. This
You can
doesn't
always toy hacks that stuff
Yeah.
there.
have- and I'm looking at the face. There is a bit of a difference of the face. The shield is a little bit thicker versus the original. But
Oh, yeah.
otherwise, I'm telling you right now, if you have this both in your hands,
Mhm.
and this was like brand new, let's just say,
Mhm.
it'd be very tough to tell the difference.
Sweet.
So one thing that I always remember people speculating about these Chinese G1 KOs is their Transformers Generation 1 came out in China in the 90s instead of the 80s. And so I've heard a lot of speculation that a lot of these KOs are because that's where the molds ended up. Like because they were sent to China for the 90s version of Generation 1. And that's how they have guys like Mirage or the Dinobots or whatever that the Hasbro doesn't have the molds anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was able to extend his legs.
Oh, good.
And this again, G1 knockoff.
Right on.
and it's very, very, very similar. It is hard to tell the difference. I'll tell you that.
Okay,
right now.
already I could tell his toes, like on his feet, are definitely different. So on the knockoff, doesn't have the peg on the bottom, doesn't have that
Oh, this.
contour on the bottom, and also, yeah, and the thing in the middle of his feet is wider than the original. It seems.
Hold on, let's
Just
see.
a little bit.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna put the foot down here.
He's putting his foot down.
Putting my foot down. So obviously we know this is the original one,
Okay.
Oh yeah, it is shaped differently.
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And now I'm gonna flip it over.
Yeah. So this has been my experience, is that like they've been very similar, but like they're definitely different. Yeah, I can see the toe on the left one is thicker, like the thing protruding on the top of his foot there at the front. It's thicker on the KO than the original.
Yeah, But again, it's very tough.
You wouldn't know if you didn't have the G1 in hand,
Right.
Yeah.
for sure. So I think that's cool and legitimate, and also the damage on your box I like that retro appeal. Like, if I had a box that was too clean, I would scuff the edges a bit just to give it that aged look. Like the T-shirt, the aged T-shirt design type of style. I think that's
vintage.
good. Yeah, the vintage look. I think that just goes with your.
Yeah, a lot of the Star Wars retro figures that they do, they make the cards so that they look like they're scuffed. I've noticed that.
That's cool.
So I'll tell you right now, if you are collecting boxes, right? I'll tell you this box here is definitely a winner, right? It really looks like a G1 box. Right?
Are there any?
Obviously, you're gonna see some difference on here, right? But they did a really good job. It's not 100%. I would say let's just say 90%. Right?
It looks good. Yeah, looks good.
Good job.
Are there-
And go ahead.
Are there any
What?
dead giveaways that it's a KO box?
No. Let me see. The Transformers, more than meets the eyes. Transformer from Insecticon to Robot and back. Insecticon Sharpro, ages 6 and up. No, not at all.
See, I
Did you say
remember.
more than meets the eyes?
Where does your F land in Transformers? Hold your box back up.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got stickers. They gave me stickers.
Oh, good.
And your rub sticker should be in there too.
Probably, yeah. No, it's not. It's
Oh,
only
No, it'll be on a separate one.
Yeah.
that's the only one
It'll
that
be
I
on a
got. I
separate
got
one
this.
because it's aluminum.
Okay, and then they gave me the red reader. I
Oh,
guess.
there's your sticker
wait a
right there.
There's your
There's
sticker.
my sticker. Look at that.
Yeah.
I told you it'll be separate
It's
because it's
funny.
aluminum.
Aluminum. Aluminum.
There you go. And then here's the what's it called
Instructions.
the
The build
transformation-
guide.
Those
Right?
guide.
The build guide. There you go.
Instruction manual. It says it right there. Instruction
I said
booklet.
instruction manual. Didn't I say that?
Booklet.
A booklet, whatever. We're Canadians. We use different kind of terminologies. And that's really it. Yeah. So I got the manual. I got the reader. I got that little sticker, the reveal sticker there, and then these stickers. So at the end of the day, you know what? If I had to travel back in time and I brought this with me, it will fit right in.
So hold the front of your box up again.
Sure. Oh crap! The plastic here broke.
Oh, you could. That's fixable.
Okay. Where it says Transformers at the very top, you see the F? Informers, it is not in the right place. So that's your first sign that it's a KO.
Because it's supposed to be under the T,
Sure.
I believe.
No, it's always under the A.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Ah.
Nice.
That's one of the big signs for KO to original.
Okay. Nice.
Is the way that the Transformers is lined up like that.
Cool.
But he
So-
was under the R. Okay.
Expert advice from Children of Magnus.
However, shrapnel.
Well, one thing, I don't know if this qualifies for these, but back in the day when Masterpiece KOs were all over the place, the easy way to tell if they were fake was the real ones had numbers physically stamped into the bottoms of the boxes, like their serial numbers. It wasn't a printed thing, like it was literally an indent on the cardboard. And the bootlegs didn't have them because they didn't go through that same process. And that was how you told the difference. I wonder if G1 boxes did that, or if that's a 21st century thing.
One of the things that guys talk about on Transformers Liberated as far as KO masterpieces to regular masterpieces is that the corrugation of the cardboard, and that's the veins of the cardboard,
Mhm.
true ones run one direction and KOs run the other direction.
Interesting.
Yeah. But you know what? I have to give this, for
I've got a few of them. I've got a few of them here just to do a side by side with them, and like we did with the Optimus Prime.
but,
Yeah, they're not horrible. They're not horrible at all.
no.
If you never had one, would I play with it every day? No, mine felt cheap in hand.
Mhm.
I have
That Optimus Prime. That Optimus Prime was a lot lighter than my regular one. Yeah, if you're just going to put it on a shelf just to complete the look, go for it.
I'll tell you right now, this is actually weighs a little bit more than this.
Well, the KO weighs more.
Yeah, the knockoff actually weighs a little bit more, and I don't
Interesting.
feel that is cheaply made. Like it's gonna break. Like if I move something or whatever, it's like, oh, there it goes, it broke. Right? It's actually made. It's well made. If I have to give a 9, like if I have to give out of 10, I'd probably give this a 9.5,
Nice.
Hmm.
just because
That's
of the tones.
That's cool.
Right? But otherwise, the box, what I got, the stickers and everything, they did a really bang up job on this. When we all get together, I'll definitely bring the two, and then what we could do, we could all take a look at it after and record it and give everybody gives their opinion on it, right?
Right.
But just to, like I said, it's I have my G1s up here, right? That some of my G1s display, and these are the two Dinobots that I have, right? I like to get those other Dinobots and put them up here, and if they fit right in, I'm going to be one happy person. I can tell you that.
Mhm.
No, we're gonna.
Okay, so Toy Warp just sent that picture to the group chat.
Yeah.
So I'm mistaken. Maybe that's just on the bigger boxes that the Transformers logo is offset more, because his original G1 in the box shrapnel that he sent a picture of, the R and the F line up.
Yep, I got the image and I'll pull that up in a moment. I'm gonna catch up
Yeah.
on the comments
Oh,
before
and just
we
one last
round up.
sorry,
for-
sorry, just one last thing. The pew pew actually fits on the G1 perfectly.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool. That's awesome, because the KO Devastators pew pews don't all fit on the G1. At least the one I have.
yeah, and I'm shaking it pretty good here, as you
Sweet.
guys can tell, right? So
Yeah, because sometimes that for him, like that would just fall right off if you shook him.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the Decepticons didn't have holes in their hands. Those things just kind of snapped around it.
Yep.
Yep.
So Professor D says, yeah, it wasn't a lot of Transformers stuff. It's Transformers that actually came with the styrofoam, the Dinobots, Insecticons, etc. They all were in those crappy plastic bubbles instead of styrofoam. Also says, I remember as a kid being disappointed with those bubbles, and it was the same disappointment and around the same time when they switched to those non-color instructions.
yeah, they used to be photos, right?
And Professor D also says, don't skip the step putting the stickers on that. Really, the nostalgia is going to hit you hard when you start putting those stickers on. Trust me, that's when the magic happens.
I find that stressful because those foil stickers, you can't take them off again. So you got to get them. I'm compulsive enough. You got to get them right the first time. So I'm like sweating and like really carefully trying to, and I'm like half putting it on very lightly and trying to line it up and then flattening it down. I get that it's nostalgic, but I don't miss that because I find it stressful because I'm like, I got to get them on perfect.
Yeah, I was very adamant about the perfection of those stickers as well. My technique now is to use like one of those longer X-Acto blades instead of like tweezers, because like it sticks to the blade anyways, and just use like the very tip of it, line it up, and then gently put it on there.
Yeah.
Because it's only stuck to so much of the blade, you can just like pull it out.
Let me show you these stickers on Rodimus Prime's thighs, because these were stressful. Because first of all, they're asymmetrical, and second of all, they don't have anything you can line them up to. You just got to float them in the middle. I'm talking about these red ones here. Those were the worst to apply.
Nice.
Those were stressful.
Good job though.
Yeah.
Professor D also says, Mr. O, don't slack on putting on those stickers on the KO. Once you do that, you'll realize that putting the stickers on is the key to unlocking the magical flood of nostalgia.
Maybe for you guys.
Well, Professor D also says, Anthony, you got to use the courage, not the fear, in order to enjoy putting the stickers on.
Oh yeah, I gotta summon the other half of my persona, I guess.
And Toy Warpa mentioned that he was sending the image in the group chat. So here is the image of the original shrapnel.
It looks very much the same, eh?
Well, guess what, Toy Warp? I got a box too that looks like yours.
I'll show that box again. There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that yellow circle looks bigger on the KO box behind the shrapnel image.
Let's
Yeah.
compare.
Let's see.
So
Yeah,
that's-
see that circle. It's more all the way to the bottom. It goes and all the way to the edge of that flap.
Oh, and the difference is because then going back to Toy Warps, it's
Let's go back there.
it's almost like a bit more faded.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It
but
does also go to the bottom as well. Yeah,
Actually,
Can you pull
let's
that
see.
up?
more
Yeah,
faded.
Now go back to yours, Mr. O.
Oh, okay, no, because Gears is in front of it, so I was gonna say blow up that picture if you can.
Yeah, yours has less of a gradient on that yellow.
That and those gray lines. On the original one, the gray lines go through the yellow. It's
Oh,
almost
that's
like in this
right.
one, the yellow's on top of the gray lines.
That's yeah.
No, wait, hold on, no, the gray lines actually go through the yellow.
Oh, the gray lines are there. Just can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's just a bit hard to
Do you
see.
see it now?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I do have that Dinobot that he has there displayed. He's right here.
So are you gonna order any KO Dinobots?
Yeah, man. That's the whole reason why I ordered that the G1 the comic. I really wanted to compare the two,
Right.
right? So I was like, I'm happy now. So I'm satisfied with this company that I'm going to order those G1 knockoffs. And I will present it here at Children of Primus, don't get me wrong.
Right on. Right on.
We
Cool.
can take a look at them because the only one that I gotta order is called Grimlock, Swoop, and shit. What's the big one called again?
Sludge.
Sludge. That's it. So those are the three that I gotta order. And you know, oh, you guys didn't ask me. How much should I pay for it?
How much did you pay for it? I was just gonna say, you should just contact them because you just showed off their figure. You showed off how good quality you consider it to be. A 9.5 out of 10. That's a good damn review.
It is.
Ask for a damn sponsorship.
I should.
Say, look, you send me another Dinobot and I'll show it on our show again. I've already give you a good word. We'll keep doing it if you send me toys. We'll buy something and then ask for a free one that you could review or something.
So how much you guys think I paid?
How much did you?
$13.99.
Well, it wasn't about $2,000, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't 2,000.
But it was in the box.
Sorry?
But it was in the box.
No, it's
It
not.
had to be. It had to be almost $2,000.
No,
about $2,000.
I
Did
wish.
you-
I wish.
Did you buy it from? Where did you buy it from?
No, just first of all, guys, give your guess, and I'll
That
tell
makes
you.
a difference. Okay, I'm gonna guess it was $55.
I'm
Okay.
going to guess $65.
Okay.
Okay, so what would 25 American be?
2,500.
35?
Yeah, I guess.
5? You want to go 35? Okay. Spin.
35.
All right.
Spin said 23, I think.
I said 23.
Well, I have to go with Bill, Mr. Magnus, because I paid $33.92.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Wow. Right on. Off of Timu, right?
No,
AliExpress?
AliExpress.
Right on, right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys want to sponsor us? No problem. We take the money.
Oh, there we go. Mr.
Right.
O's M to the O, your 80s aura going on froze there for a second.
I love your cyberpunk filter you have.
That's
with
exactly
M2DO.
what's happening.
Yeah,
Some
totally.
max headroom going on there.
Well,
Yeah.
I figured since I'm doing this KO, right? I figure we'll, go with this kind of look.
I like it.
Yeah, it feels like a nice vibe.
But it's like KO.
But we do have to round up for the evening. And that
Yeah,
toy
read up.
makes an appearance in an iconic 80s movie. Which movie is it? That should be a question to throw around in the group and everything for the week, and we'll answer it next week.
On what channel?
Children of Primus.
Children of Primus.
Frenzy Freestyle Sundays.
At what time?
8 p.m. Eastern Time and also 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Collectors in Disguise.
And if you haven't subscribed, you better do that, and also get your notification. If you don't, I'll punch you in the face.
Or else.
Or else.
Or else.
Such violence.
Or I get this guy.
But I thank you guys for showing up, and I thank everyone in the comments for showing up, and
Mhm.
share the video and like it if you're watching after. And on that note,
Don't make people.
until all are one.
Until